And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, BRimes.
All right, welcome to the show. Thanks so much for spending some time with us. Consumer Quarterback Show, your consumer advocate, helping you understand your buying decisions, making you more street smart. Thank you so much for supporting the show hotline. We've had an uptick in calls. Remember, you always have that resource available to you. It's our show hotline. Will's Way Foundation named me executive director. I'm real happy to be on that, along with some other friends of mine. But I want to tell you an interesting story, because when you're supporting this show and shows like this, you're supporting the local economy. You're supporting the good guys here in Tampa Bay. And my guys, my team, these guys here at Gray Bull Rescue just went down a couple weeks back. This actually a few weeks ago. They went down to Haiti and rescued some orphans from down there. So that, these are the types of people that we're hanging with here. Will's Way Foundation, Captain Will Smith Aviation went down to Haiti, landed a helicopter, pulled orphans out of that country because, as you know, the gangs have taken over Haiti, and worked with Secretary of State Marco Rubio to expedite visas and bringing these guys back. So Will's Way Foundation doing a lot of good work out there in the community. Shout out to Will, Gray Bull. And just think about our show. Save our hotline number, first of all. First thing to do is save that hotline number in your phone. It's 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. You can submit an email form there. But what you want to do there is just save that number in your phone, because if you want to sell a business, a house, land, a commercial property, or get a mortgage, refinance, maybe you want to buy a jet. Maybe you want to look at auto groups, Murphy Auto Group, buy a yacht through our J Brothers Yachts, or switch to health. Let's talk about health and nutrition. We've got personal trainers. We've got Martin Gramatica, former Super Bowl winner, can give you a heart scan. Jason Mears in studio with us today is our insurance expert contributor. Jason, give a little tease of what we're going to talk about today, sir.
Well, hurricane season unfortunately starts in 3 days. Hold the applause. So we're
right. Yay!
So we had an interesting hurricane season last year. So we'll talk a little bit about what we've learned from that and what you can do to prepare for this year's. Yeah,
exactly. We'll go through that. And you learn tips. That's the good thing about human beings is, some of us, most of us, I would say, maybe we learn from our mistakes. We learn from the past.
Hope so.
And not everybody out there, but, people are crazy, like that Billy Currington song, from time to time. So we're going to talk about tips, things to look for, things to avoid, what not to do, those types of things here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, Thomas King joining us, Florida Firearms Academy, Second Amendment expert contributor. And we're going to talk with him, Florida Firearms Academy, coming up on the Consumer Quarterback Show today. Also, interesting statistic here. According to the National Association of Realtors, in a 2-year period, there can be as many 7 million newborn babies, 3 million marriages, 4 million net new jobs, and 50 million job switches alone. And as realtors, we get to play part in your lifestyle when those things are happening. The ups, the downs, the move up buyers, the move closer to the beach, closer to grandma. Thanks for supporting the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. Buying, selling, investing, we would love to talk to you. We feature all of our listings live on air, maximizing the exposure and the profit on the sale of our real estate. Dave, let's throw 221 Howard Drive. My favorite listing right now, 221 Howard. This is beautiful property, Bel Air Beach, 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square foot, single family home, exclusive Bel Air Beach location, gorgeous 3-island kitchen with Thermador appliances, saltwater pool, 100 feet of water frontage, and you are 1 block from beach access. You have access to the Pinellas County beaches, sugar sand beaches, dolphin-filled waters. Check out 221 Howard Drive, Bel Air Beach, Florida. Keller Williams Luxury International, and this one's listed at $2.7 million. Great opportunity there. 1210 Paradise Lake Drive, Tarpon Springs, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2-car garage, 2274 square feet, and you have a beautiful pool and spa package, screened-in lanai, fireplace, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, stainless steel appliances, gorgeous property. Too many updates and upgrades to mention here. Great opportunity. 1210 Paradise Lake Drive, Tarpon Springs, another one of our 50 real estate listings, Platinum MVP Team. You can see all of our listings online at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, Jason Mears in the house joining us. And Jason, when we talk about this time of year, you got to really take it serious. And I think a lot of people learned that lesson last year about kind of waiting to the last minute and scrambling at the last minute. But when it comes to your insurance, there's a lot of misnomers. Let's face it, people don't really take the time to read through those. I know that's the last thing on our mind when we come home on a busy day and we got the kids doing this and all this stuff going on in life, man.
Yeah, and this is the time to prepare, right? I mean, June 1st is hurricane season. That's when we're recording this, that's just a few days away. But we're going to be, really what I'm hoping to do today is try to provide you some things just to be thinking about and make sure that you do. I think a lot of people get overwhelmed with the whole prep process, and I've got to do this and I've got to do that. And a lot of people do wait to the last minute. There are some things in life where you can do that, and then there's other things where that's just not going to be helpful, right? And last year was definitely eye-opening for a lot of us. You basically had a wind event and a flood event back-to-back. We'd never really seen anything like that. As an insurance agent for 12 years, I'd never been a part of something like that. We saw a lot of people doing a lot of weird things, and people filing flood claims with Citizens when Citizens doesn't provide flood coverage, things like that. We heard horror stories about the permit process. Here we are starting hurricane season, and you still have people that are waiting for their homes to get fixed, and so there's just so much. It's just tragic, but there's so much misinformation and mistakes that people were making. So kind of the goal today is to maybe help with some of clarifying that. So I would first just say you need flood insurance. I mean, there's a misnomer out there that and it's been perpetuated by a lot of different entities, I think, but people thinking that, well, I don't need flood insurance, I'm not in a flood zone. Well, over the last several years, I can't tell you the thousands and thousands of homes that flooded out that were in what's considered a low-risk flood zone, an X flood zone.
Right.
And low risk doesn't mean no risk, and a lot of people found that out the hard way. So I would really encourage people, regardless, you have nothing to lose, get a flood insurance quote. Remember, flood insurance is just covering water that's rising from outside of your house coming into your house. That's what it's for. So make sure you take a look at that. And then a lot of people just don't know what their coverages are. They assume flood insurance is going to cover certain things that it doesn't. Same thing on the home insurance side as well. You need to know what your deductible is for hurricane coverage. You need to know if your personal property is covered at replacement cost. So some of those things, I think, are some lessons that we can kind of move forward and take with us.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter if you're not in a flood zone. You say that your neighbor told you this place has never flooded in 100 years because his grandpappy lived there. Like all those stories, right, Jay? You hear those stories, man. Everybody's got a story. Because, what surprised me some this last time is because you think coastal. Normally you think coastal with the flood, right? I got calls from clients, friends, radio show listeners weeks after saying, hey, it just started flooding last week. What do you mean? Like we're out east. We're way out east over here, and those tributaries will flood. Mm-hmm. So just because you're not close to the beach, or maybe you're in a higher area, or whatever you heard, not necessarily true. You could flood.
Yes, absolutely. The whole state of Florida is in a flood zone, right? If you're in an X flood zone, that is a flood zone. It's just a low enough risk where your lender is not going to require you to get flood insurance, but it's still a risk,
right? And
so people have to take account of that. You just because you're not near the coast or you don't have a lake in your backyard. We've heard stories of like people who live in cul-de-sacs. Well, wind, hurricanes come through and debris, and they start clogging up those drains in those cul-de-sacs. And the water in a cul-de-sac, if it's low, can rise quickly if those drains get clogged up. And that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And so people that are in cul-de-sacs, I think, is one specific area or type of property that people just need to be aware of. And then again, if you're near a tributary or if you've got something in your backyard, like I know around here, you've got Tarpon Lake up there, and you've got it drains all the way up into the Gulf. But if that floods out up there, then you're going to get all that rising water rushing down through. So just some things to be aware of.
And this is where the city and the county need to come through and make sure they're getting their people out there digging those ditches. The machines, they're cleaning out those ditches. They're spraying the hydrilla, the floating hydrilla. All that can stop the flow. And when those plants start going through at a high pace, then that's when you have problems. You have rising water. So the city needs to take care of it. Mm-hmm. Counties, municipalities, they need to be on top of it. And most of the time they are. Look, we live in the best city, tri-county area, tri-city area in the country, on the best planet, or the best country here. And when you look at all the things happening, yes, it is a concern. Hurricane season is a concern, but if you prepare and you evacuate if you're in the zone, that's it. You can take care of your family. You can take care of your belongings by adhering to a couple of tips. Here's one. Go ahead and film your home. Make sure you keep an inventory. Film it. Take pictures. Put plenty of water, plenty of gasoline, all the stuff that we've heard for years and years and years. And if you don't know where to look, I'm sure Jason has resources on his website. Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance.com, FloridaBestQuote.com. Jason Mears in studio with us. I'm sure you have something like that on your site, don't you?
Yeah, and we provide information about that as well. And one of my goals is I go around teaching classes about that. I was talking to you earlier. This is something that when hurricane season starts, that's a big part of my job is, I already teach classes a lot to realtors specifically, but just how can we partner together and what are things that we can do to just to make sure that we're all prepared. I would touch on one thing. Because I do talk to realtors a lot, and I know there are realtors that listen to the show. If you're a realtor out there, if you're a new home buyer considering buying a home during hurricane season, just a couple of quick tips. I really, really strongly encourage pre-listing inspections, especially if you're the realtor on the selling side or if you're a seller looking to sell your home. It's best, and this is regardless of hurricane season, but especially this time of year, it's good to know before you list your home what the repairs need to be.
Yes.
Right? You're not waiting under contract and here comes a storm and you've got repairs that need to be made and we're waiting on that and it's pushing back a closing date and people are just not prepared. Know what's going on with your home before you list it. And then on the buyer side, and the realtor side, the buyer needs to connect with the insurance agent immediately after going under contract. One thing that I run into with a lot of realtors is they will, they'll want a quote on a home. Hey, here's an address. Can you give me a quote on this home? Well, sure, that's fine. We can quote it. All we have to know is address, primary residence. We can get you a quote. But a lot of times we won't hear anything else about that until the lender sends us a request to bind the policy. And that's the first time we've heard the buyer's name at that point. Can't do that during hurricane season.
Right.
Because what happens is when these companies start putting binding requests in place because here comes a hurricane, nobody can bind insurance. Well, the last thing we need to be doing is trying to, and I've had to do this many times over the years, I'm trying to call a client, trying to get their date of birth while they're at work because I don't have any of that information, and we're trying to bind as much as we can before a hurricane comes through because you never know how long these companies are going to be shut down for. If it's bad, it could be weeks before any of these companies. Yes.
Proactive is the name of the game. If you're taking a listing, get that pre-listing inspection. Talk to Jay Smith, a Snoop inspection. Get that pre-listing inspection. That way going into the deal, this is what could potentially be there. I can't bind the insurance because of XYZ, the old breaker box, etc. All those different things. Roofs are being scrutinized harder than we've ever seen as well. I'm your host, Brandon Rimes. We're talking with Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Quick shout out to our friends over at Brio Tuscan Grill, the official restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to our chef, Oscar Ramirez there, Brio Tuscan Grill. Longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They got their lunch menu out now. It looks really awesome. They got happy hour specials as well. All right, quick break, right back. More with the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, did you hear about this? Governor DeSantis signs a new law in response to federal spending to allow Florida to recognize gold and silver as legal tender. We got that coming up and more with our expert contributors. Stick around also for Thomas King, Florida Firearms Academy, FFAtampa.com coming up next as well. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Grant Cardone, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show, hosted by my friend Brandon Rimes. Do not touch that dial. I'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rimes here. Did you know that we buy houses cash? We will close quickly and give you a fair offer on your home or residential properties, even commercial properties, and we will give you a fair cash offer, close quickly, and be diligent when you're shopping these types of scenarios because a lot of the wholesalers, the flippers out there, they will sign you up on an as-is contract and they will shop that contract and try to find a buyer, but they may not find the buyer and they won't close. So this is Brandon Rimes, 813-917-1894, consumerqb.com. Brandon Rimes, we buy houses cash and fast. Attention business owners, did you know we have 100% financing options available? Our no money down program offers 100% financing for business owners. If you are currently leasing your commercial space, you can purchase real estate for no money down. Additionally, the program offers money for working capital, equipment, and business fixtures. You can even pay off current business debt. Reach out at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. And that is our 100% financing, no money down program for business owners. We would love to help you buying, selling, or investing in real estate. 813-917-1894. BRimes at kw.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, the official Pinellas County restaurant partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Say hello to Doug Clark, chef and owner Doug Clark, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Ours Creole Smokehouse, 310 East Tarpon Avenue, Tarpon Springs, ourscreole.com. Excellent food, wonderful ambiance. Say hello to our friend Doug Clark. If you're facing an insurance claim, don't just trust the insurance company to have your best interests at heart. This is Brandon Rimes, Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to rightwaypa.com, our friend Derek Coble at rightwaypa.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
All right, welcome back. Brandon Rimes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, talking with Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance, Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty, helping our sellers sell faster for more money with less headaches, selling vacant land, residential, commercial property, selling a business, commercial property. We'd love to talk to you. Reach out to the hotline. And a couple of hot listings here from the Platinum MVP team. Skip that one. We'll go to the next one. We got the next property is going to be Lexington Oak Drive, 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, 3-bedroom, 3.5 bath, 1-car garage, 1,917 square foot, new flooring, fresh carpet throughout. Remodeled en-suites, marble tile look. You have a beautiful community pool here, great kitchen there, nice lighter color kitchen that people love, lighter color flooring, the wood flooring, and stainless steel appliances. Also, level 2 EV charger in the garage, and a great opportunity to buy a beautiful townhouse here, whole house water filtration system. I hope it has the Fred DeFelice Water Quality USA in there, because that's the best, man. Fred DeFelice with the our water expert contributor. 2547 Lexington Oak Drive, Brandon, Florida. Beautiful property from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams. 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard, Claremont, Florida. 5 bedrooms, 3 full bath, 2 half bath, 2-car garage. Stunning 3,121 square feet, acre of land, gated community with lake access. Gorgeous property. Professionally designed landscape, circular driveway, screened-in pool and spa package with beautiful pavers around it, lighter color kitchen cabinetry, white appliances, great opportunity to buy real estate. I love this property because it's a unique, you're on an island, you're on a peninsula/island here, Magnolia Island, only home to about 30 other custom homes, rare gem at an excellent price. Check out 17416 Magnolia Island Boulevard, Claremont, Florida, and you can see all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, Jason Mears back in studio with us, and consumer advocacy is the name of the show, Consumer Quarterbacking, that is. And when you think about insurances, there's a lot of consumer advocacy to be done there, a lot of consumer tips.
Yeah, there is, and I think that's there's so much information out there right now about what you need to do to prepare, and I think there's some things that are very well known, and I don't want to spend a lot of time on those, getting a go bag for your pet, getting a go bag for you, things like that.
Right.
But I do want to touch on just a few things that maybe you haven't thought about or maybe don't think about. You mentioned one of them, but I kind of want to expand on that a little bit. A lot of people realize that they need to inventory their possessions, their personal property, because if heaven forbid, something gets wiped out and you have to prove what you have.
Yep.
It's a whole lot better to know what you have ahead of time than them try to, go through your wrecked house or apartment or condo and be looking. So a lot of people are not going to take the time to sit down with a piece of paper on their computer and write out everything and the values. So I would say grab your phone, walk through your house, open every drawer, every cabinet, everything, and just talk through everything. Yep. Here's this, here's this, here's this. Do it on the inside, do it on the outside, just to have a video record. That's way better than not doing anything at all. And like I said, if you are the person that's going to itemize everything that you own and have it as a record, do that. For sure, do that. But most people that will not take that time or have that time, at least take a quick video, open everything, and just walk through your house. Another thing is a lot of people don't think about their pets in moments like this. And where we've seen this happen a lot is people at the last minute are trying to find a shelter and they don't know what shelters are pet friendly. You know, a lot of places will not take pets. Yeah. And you need to prepare ahead of time. Find out what shelter right now, before hurricane season really gets going, find out what shelter is closest to you and find out if they're pet friendly. A lot of extra places like schools and churches will open up at the last minute to try to help out, but a lot of them will not take pets either. So have that decided ahead of time so you're not driving from place to place trying to find a place that will allow your cat or dog in there. And then, of course, I think a simple one is and I follow this rule, just make sure that, you know, your goal during hurricane season, I'm never going to let my gas tank get below half a tank. Just never going to let it happen. Yeah,
keep it gassed up, man.
Yeah,
that's what I do.
Because a lot of people don't think about that, and that's where gas gets nuts at the last minute. Yep. So always have a half full tank of gas. Fill your bathtub with water. A lot of people don't think about that as well. Mm-hmm. Just so you can flush your toilets. You can use it for hygiene purposes. And then just kind of a silly one that has worked for me. It worked for me last year because I left for one of the hurricanes and came back. Is I read this on the internet and I thought it was goofy, but I tried it and it worked. You know, a lot of people lose power and they lose all their stuff in their freezer and their fridge. I took a little cup, a little paper cup, and I filled it with water and stuck it in the freezer with a coin on top, a little dime on top. It's still in there from last year. It just stays in there nonstop. And I knew that when I was gone for 3 or 4 days and then came back, if my power was off long enough for that ice to melt and the coin to drop down into the water, that I lost power for way too long. Got it. And that my freezer stuff, all that needs to be thrown away. I got back, I'd lost power, didn't know how long, but that little coin was sitting on top of the ice, so I knew I didn't have to throw everything away in my freezer. Wasn't that bad. So I read that tip, thought it was kind of goofy. I did it last year, and I didn't throw my stuff away. So. I like it. You ready for some real estate stats here, Jay? Do it. Final, we got a two minute drill here. We're going to call an audible. So Hillsborough County distress, you got 6934 active listings divided by 1,711. That gives us a 25% absorption rate and a 4.1 month supply of inventory. Currently, that's what's the latest data that we have. Hillsborough County is the 4th most populous in the country. In the state, and the 25th in the country. So Hillsborough County stats, this is for non-distressed. You have single-family homes in there, townhouses, everything's kind of grouped in together. Now, what's interesting, though, that 25% absorption rate, if we compare the actives to March of 22, there's 1,118, and there's 6,900 now. So that's a difference of 5,816 properties that are on the market now that weren't on the market during that crazy run in March of 22. Final thoughts, Jason Mears. Yeah, there's a lot of properties on the market. One thing we want to do as a company, and for you realtors out there, we want to help you sell your properties. We'll brand we'll quote your listing for you, brand it to you and to your agency, and then we'll design it in a real nice flyer, send it to you so you can print it for your open houses. Hopefully that'll help you sell it. And then if you would like for me to come in and teach a class on, is my listing insurable? If you're a brokerage out there, I'd be glad to help with that as well. I like that. He does a great job. He's very well versed. I've seen him speak at large groups at the Ubaldini get-togethers. Does a great job. Very entertaining and very knowledgeable. Jason Mears, Florida Best Quote Insurance online. FloridaBestQuote.com. FloridaBestQuote.com for all your insurance needs. Hey, get a review as well. You might as well have them take a look and give you a review. All right, good stuff, Jason. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Thank you, man. Always a pleasure. Thomas King in the house, Second Amendment expert contributor, Florida Firearms Academy, coming up next. We're going to talk with him. Follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show. Consumer Quarterback Show pages out there, up 700% on our YouTube views, thanks to the awesome producers associated with the show. We'll be right back.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rimes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rimes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
And we're back. Thomas King joins us here from Florida Firearms Academy. We're going to talk with him. He's got some really cool classes over there at Florida Firearms Academy, and he's got a big giveaway coming up as well. You want to follow his socials. He's always doing really cool parties and giveaways and things on the Florida Firearms Academy social media, ffatampa.com as well, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Before we do a couple of hot listings here, Dave's going to put a couple up on the screen. If you follow our YouTube channels, follow us online, you'll see a lot of this content on our social media channels, and up 700% now in our views, Q4 over Q1. So real excited about that, and I can't wait to see what Q2 has in store. We're doubling down on our efforts and putting out a lot of great content for you. So please subscribe to our YouTube channels, Rumble channels out there, Instagram, follow us at Brandon Rimes 1 at CQB Show. All right, 16625 Goose Ribbon Place, Wimauma, Florida. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. You got a smart home here in a gated community, guard-gated community, with these beautiful resort-style crystal lagoons, a shimmering multi-acre aquatic paradise. Also, other amenities, access to the volleyball courts, nature trails, dog parks, and a vibrant clubhouse. This is 16625 Goose Ribbon Place, Wimauma, Florida. We just did a price improvement here. Price to sell. Great opportunity. Right there in beautiful South Hillsborough County. Great opportunity there. All right, Southeast Maricamp Road. This is 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road. We have a hardware store for sale. It's $1.49 million, $1.45 million investment opportunity, multiple income streams. There's multiple income streams coming in, not just the hardware store income. You got rental income coming in, seller financing available with a strong down payment. Check out 9594 Southeast Maricamp Road, an acre of land in paradise. You can see all of our real estate listings, and if you're buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. Check out our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Ain't that right? Shout out to Patriot Mobile as well while we're at it. Patriot Mobile, America's only Christian conservative wireless provider right here. And that's Satellite Phone Store. So Satellite Phone Store. And we have, which one are we doing, Dave? Sat123.com/REQB. Satellite Store, 123.com/RE, like real estate, QB like quarterback. SatellitePhoneStore.com. Let's go to Patriot now. Let's do the Patriot. There we go. Patriot Mobile, mobilizing freedom. America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. PatriotMobile.com/consumer QB. PatriotMobile.com/consumer QB. Drop woke wireless and go with Patriot Mobile. Mobilizing freedom. Thomas King, welcome back in, sir.
Super excited to be here. Recap of this week. We did our Memorial Day tribute at FFA for the Fallen, and we always hook up everyone that comes to our event. We gave them free 9mm ammo and cool stickers and everything, and everyone just had a great time. We gave free firearm rentals, so always a good thing. We did our first gala, and this was for the special needs kids. We had it at the country club there. So amazing. All the people that came out and gave and sponsored, so thank you so much to all of you. It's to build, we needed to raise $60,000 to get these special needs kids the help with their school. We went to party at the amazing Hero Fest with David Vargas. Amazing event. That was so cool.
Yeah.
And ladies, keep your mitts off of him because Kelly flew down his girlfriend to hang out with him. So make sure you get away from him. And I wanted to tell you this really cool story that I actually heard a long while ago on the internet. And I think this is something that everyone should hear. It's so powerful. Have you ever heard of the story of the bystander effect story?
Yeah, vaguely, yeah.
So I don't know who the girl was. I can't remember her name, or the teacher who performed this story or the lessons, but a young 16-year-old girl went into her biology class, and the class layout was different this time. So she walked in, and there was this whole circle of desks, all in a circle, and there was one desk right in the middle of the desk. The teacher who normally taught there, he was a really nice guy and everything, but this time the teacher comes in, and he's really upset. He's looking at every student, and he yells out to every student, sit down, shut up, don't move. If you move, you're going to fail this class. I don't want anyone to move at all. And the students are looking around like, what is this teacher going through? So the kids were scared, and the teacher goes over to the middle of the table, and there's this bowl there full of water, and there's this one goldfish in there. And he grabs the goldfish out, and he holds it in his hand, and he spins around, and he shows all the students his goldfish. And he puts the goldfish on the table, and he walks out of the room, and he closes the door. And the students are looking around like they're terrified, right? They're like, what do we do? They can't talk. They're just looking to hope that someone's going to do something. And then they're just watching this fish just flop up and down, up and down. And each one of them just sat there. They didn't do anything. And it felt like eternity, this girl said. And all she could remember was what the teacher said. Sit down, shut up, don't move, or you're going to fail. That's all she could remember. So she sat there, and it felt like eternity. And after about 2 minutes, the fish is starting to stop flop, right?
Yeah.
So the student girl, she gets up, and she says, F this. And she goes over, and she grabs the goldfish and puts it right back into the bowl. Yeah. And as soon as she puts the goldfish back in the bowl, all the students, they just felt like, oh my gosh, he's finally done.
Sigh, yeah.
So the teacher comes back in the room and says, what has the world done to you all?
Yeah.
Why weren't any of you guys doing anything? You basically just gave up everything because I said to sit down, shut up, and you wouldn't do anything. And it was at that moment this young girl realized, I'm never going to be that person ever again. I'm going to stand up for what's right, no matter what it costs me, because she thought, oh, my grades are so important to me. I can't fail this course.
Right.
Well, she was going to let a little goldfish die.
Right.
But now she said, whatever she does now, no matter how bad it is, and that's the thing today. So many people today, they don't do anything, right? When something happens, they pull out their cell phone, right? And they're just video recording the event. They're not stopping a fight or whatever's going, or try to rationalize or realize with people. Yep. So if you're not standing for something, you're going to fall for everything, basically. And I was just having this conversation, and it's so bad today for like what I have to do in the Second Amendment, right? I stand up every day for you, for your rights, and it's weird to me that like maybe 20% of the people that support me really, like,
right,
and then the other 80% can't even click like on a Facebook page because they're so terrified,
they're worried about the ramifications,
what other people are going to know,
and
they're not standing up for what they need to do. So if you are you can carry a firearm legally, and you see a shooting happen, you're going to feel horrible if you don't do something about it. For the rest of your life, that's going to sit in your brain, right?
Yeah.
And have you ever gone through anything like that where you just sat back and watched something go by?
No, I'm the type that gets involved.
Something?
That's why I'm scared to travel to blue states, because I'll be the one getting in trouble. I'll be the Daniel Penny that they put on trial because I choked somebody out or something. You know, not that I'm looking for that, but that I would be the person to stand up. The way I was raised. And you know what also came to mind, Thomas, is Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers." So if you can even better than having to pull a gun or fight, is to get in the middle of two people that are arguing and say, "Hey, listen, guys, maybe you're both just having a bad day. Can you please calm it down a little bit here? Or hey, there's little kids over here looking at you two grown men about to fight each other and punch each other in the face. Look at this little 5-year-old kid. He's crying. He's nervous. He's scared. Look what you're doing look at the senior citizen over here. They're nervous about what's going to happen here. Can you guys please de-escalate this?"
Be the hero you want to be. I remember one time you and I were at a Ron DeSantis event, and this guy comes in, and he's screaming, "You have blood on your hands," and he's rushing the stage. Yeah. And Brandon grabs the guy and tackles him down, and I'm helping now. I'm like, oh, what is going on? And then Secret Service, of course, comes in. So you are that guy.
It's funny. I forgot about that.
And I love that. Yeah, that was a while back.
That was a good one.
Back in the day. But what has happened to us in society? Why has it become like this? Because we're so scared to be called racist or whatever. We can't say, hey, man, boys shouldn't compete with girls. Well, you know what? Let's let all boys compete with all girls in every single sport. Yeah. And I guarantee you this, there will be no more girls events.
Exactly. ridiculous.
So we have to stand for something. Give them their own category. If they want that, is it transgender? Is that the word today? I don't even know all the words, but
it's ridiculous.
Why can't they have their own category?
Well, there's
where
the
they
litter box kids too. Have you heard about the litter box kids? Charlie Kirk. This is real, dude. This is real
thing.
I'm glad you brought this up. Yeah, they're furry. They call themselves furries. Seriously, there's over 100 schools. I think it's over 100 schools that have litter boxes outside of the classrooms because these kids actually pretend that they're furries. They're cats. Yeah, I swear. Charlie Kirk mentioned it on his show.
Why parents?
Charlie's a full-time political pundit. I'm a full-time realtor. I'm selling deals and making things happen. I do radio part-time, and I stay focused on what I have to do. But it is real. It's unbelievable.
What's next after that?
But the thing is, there's a great quote by Chesterton. He's from the UK. It's something to the effect that when you don't believe in God or you stop believing in God, you'll believe in anything. Or you don't believe in nothing, you'll believe in anything. And that's what they do.
That's the same thing that happened in COVID. They screamed at us in the media, you have to wear your mask. And if I went into a public, people are looking at me like I'm the devil. And all my doctors said, mask is not going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
But it was just what they were told. And they had to take it out on me. And I was their anger. And I was the reason why COVID is here. Maybe they thought because I was Asian or something. But all I'm saying is, don't be that person who does nothing. You got to stand up for what's right. Well, that's a good point.
I'm glad you had that message because remember Robert Malone, too, Dr. Robert Malone. He was like, wasn't he the inventor of this mRNA? Remember that? And then they redefined what a vaccine was. They actually literally redefined the definition. So anyways, without getting this video pulled down, I'll try to correct here. But yeah, so we went through a psyop, and it's still happening. And if you look at the kids today, they're the most depressed, over-medicated, over-drug-used, over social medias, their parents don't have a control on them, most of them. And some parents are going to be the ultimate friend parent, that way they can still hang out with them. But that's what it created.
And this puts it back onto the Bible, too. It says Leviticus 5.1 and states, and someone sinned by failing to testify when they hear a public charge about something he has witnessed, whether he has seen it or heard or learned of it, he shall bear the iniquity. So it's on you. That's the sin on you if you don't report it, if you don't stand up for something.
Right.
It's stated right there in the Word. So stand up, be somebody, make sure you have accountability for it.
Here's a good clip, too, about following, because so many times you hear, follow your heart, follow your heart. Nope, that's the wrong thing, actually.
Is a kitty box attached to that?
Listen.
Because, for example, there are things that I really enjoy doing that I'm not that good at. For example, I could be a college football coach. I love college football. It's one of my favorite things in the world.
I'd love to coach.
Not my greatest and best use. But my greatest and best use, I love politics. I love speaking. I love changing people's lives. I love the battle of ideas. But for entrepreneurs out there that might not be able to even see that horizon, understand that there are chapters and there are sequences in this kind of growth journey that you're on.
So when you're thinking about where do you want to take your skill set, where do you want to go, where do you want to put your energies for the younger kids, some might be trade schools, some might be universities, some might be a completely different path where it's self-taught and it's online or homeschooled. But what's your thoughts about that? What's your takeaway from that?
I think I should have you go out to Charlie Kirk and hang out with him because you're really good at it and you guys can change some minds. There's so much to take in on that, and it's all about, I think it breaks it down to just thinking inside the box for yourself.
Right, inside the box for yourself. Your skill set, what's going to match up to help you succeed. What do you have a passion for, right?
And that's what you got to follow. We all have some special gift that God has provided for us. We need to find out what it is. And I guarantee you it's not a kitty box. I guarantee you that.
I guarantee you it's not. It's not a litter box.
There's something, and you can, and parents, they can feel mad about me saying that because my kid is a cat or dog, whatever it is.
Ridiculous.
It's not. And the truth is, find that special. As soon as you find that special thing that you're going to do, you're going to love life so much more.
Yeah, we're made in the image of our Creator, and it's a unique. We're the thinking beings. We're beings that can think, and to have so many of these people that just get off track today by not following what's good, true, and proven. Right, you got to follow the proven path. Florida Firearms Academy online at ffatampa.com, ffatampa.com. Lots of classes, lots of great events coming up. We're going to talk about that on the flip side here. We're going to get also a big giveaway coming up. Thomas King in the house. Quick break, right back. Also, Florida Governor DeSantis Ron DeSantis signs new law in response to federal spending to allow Florida to recognize gold and silver as legal tender. Interesting story coming up as well. And follow us online. We'd love to connect with you at BrandonRimes1, at CQB Show. And please subscribe to our channels out there, Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com for all of your non-woke American-made products. American values, Christian, conservative American values. Say hello to my business partner, Jim McCune at AmericaFirstPatriotStore.com. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Say hello to Shane Socash, longtime friend of the Consumer Quarterback Show, 4009 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg. Online at David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com for all of your precious metals and jewelry design. David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin.com. Blue Moon Estate Sales of Pinellas County for all of your estate sale needs. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. Reach out to Jennifer. Tell her you heard about her here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. BlueMoonEstateSales.com. And stop by their store, the Blue Moon Store, at 1479 South Belcher in Largo. 1479 South Belcher in Largo. And that's BlueMoonEstateSales.com. SJ Movers and Junk Removal, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. 727-717-0846 for all your moving and junk removal. 727-717-0846. SJ Movers and Junk Removal. Selling commercial, vacant land, or residential properties? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. You can reach me at 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. That's consumerqb, like quarterback.com. Buying, selling, investing, or refinancing, we would love to talk to you. Thank you so much and have a blessed day.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
With Thomas King from Florida Firearms Academy, FFA Tampa.com, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We're always looking for listings. If you're looking to buy or sell, invest, and list a property, real estate, vacant land, commercial properties, of course, single-family homes. It's our goal is to get you the maximum exposure, and that's what we've been doing on air with this talk show, growing it over the last 12 years. August will be 12 years on air now as a radio talk show host and a top realtor here in Tampa Bay. We take great pride. Our highest duty is to get our sellers maximum exposure, which leads to a maximum profit at the closing table, sellers netting more money, and a shorter marketing period. Couple of hot listings from the Platinum MVP team. Keller Williams Realty got 1161 Rio de Janeiro, Punta Gorda, Florida. This is down in Charlotte County. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2,574 square feet, quarter-acre lot. Owner motivated. We just did a $50,000 price improvement, and you are close to the stunning Gulf beaches there as well in Charlotte County, Punta Gorda, Florida. Beautiful listing. Great opportunity. Indigo Road, Groveland, 42 acres of land, 2-2 home on the site. Ideal for residents as a temporary base for development. So you got 42 acres, got a beautiful pond and lake there on the property, small lake. 42 acres, 4798 Indigo Road, Groveland, Florida. Great location, great opportunity to buy real estate. You can see all of our listings, PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. All right, Thomas King in the house, Florida Firearms Academy. Did you hear about this DeSantis signing the bill recognizing gold and silver? He says, quote, "We've seen a lot of problems with the D.C. swamp. This is our ability to give you the financial freedom to be able to protect yourselves against the declining value of the dollar." Your thoughts, Thomas King?
You know, it has been declining for a long time, and what we've done is just squandered all our money. We've given billions of dollars to other countries, and we've done research with cats and mice and things that we shouldn't be spending money on.
Yeah, wasting time, man.
So
wasting
that's
money.
our money. Why? I guarantee you, we're down to a AA Moody, AAA Moody.
Yeah, they downgraded
AAA,
us.
now but that was downgraded like probably 10 years ago, and it should be. We were the world currency, so we should stand at a AAA rating, but we're not right now. So gold and silver, great way to invest in, but I'm not putting all my money in that. So ammo is my precious metals.
There you go.
That's what really is a commodity.
I like that.
If it hits the fan, that's what you're going to be able to use. Firearms, ammo, alcohol, food, water. Those are the real. I can't scrape off a bar of gold to get some bread, right? So it's a good investment, though. You'll be able to use it anywhere in the world.
Yep, you'll have that. You think about the Bitcoin. Some people are doing Bitcoins, and you hear the whole thing about diversification. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. So that's a strategy. Buy some investment property. People have to live somewhere.
I have silver. You know what the cool thing was? This true story. My dad on his deathbed said, "I want to let you know, back in the garden, I have all those bricks back there around the garden. They're painted red. They were silver bars that he actually painted.
Are you serious?
We would have never known, right?
Are you serious?
Yes. So we're like, well, thanks for telling us that. And then, we're like, well, maybe there's a bunch in the walls too, because he was like a prepper, right? You know who was the best prepper? It was Moses. So he made the ark and all that.
Yeah, man. There's some great stories. Shane
cool
Socash, David Reynolds Jewelry and Coin. He calls into the show. He's had some stories about the buried coffee can in the backyard.
Yep.
And, the kids bring it in and they don't know what's in it. And there's of course some money and
amazing.
Some of the coins are very expensive too.
Right.
If you get that certain year.
The people during COVID that were laughing at the preppers, they weren't laughing anymore because they had toilet paper.
Yeah, exactly.
They were ready to wipe. They didn't have a kitty box. They had toilet papers.
Yeah, satellite phone.
So I'm giving away this huge giveaway. And have you ever heard of Oldsmar Cares? It's right down the road from my building. They're amazing people. So they have a grocery store. If you need groceries, you take your grocery cart. You can go through it once a week and fill it up. You need clothes. You need books. You need your light paid, your light bill paid, your mortgage help. They're there to help you out. And so that's what this is for. It's like a $1,200 package. We're giving away a 365 6-hour pistol, 9mm, and it comes with 500 rounds of ammo. It comes with a 1-year family membership, and it comes with pistol training and your concealed weapon permit. So we don't just give you a gun or sell you a gun. We want you to learn how to actually use it correctly, safely, and accurately, right? So this whole package, how do you get this? You go to the dollar store. You bring any kind of toiletries, whether it be toothpaste, toothbrush, shampoo. This is what they need. This is what they're asking for. Mm-hmm. Most people say, I want a car and I want a house. No, they don't have anything. So if you bring in a bag, every bag that you bring in, you're going to get 5 tickets. At the end of the month, you can bring as many bags as you like. At the end of the month, we're going to go ahead and draw out the winner. If you bring in $20 and say, I just want to donate this, we're going to give you 20 tickets. If you bring in $100, we're going to give you 100 tickets. All proceeds always go towards the charity that we're doing. So we're going to make sure that they get what they need. And, we always help out the homeless. We always help out our veterans. We stand tall. We stand for something. And we want people to know that we're really proud of it.
Yeah, you got to stand for something or you fall for anything, like you said before, right? Thomas
Absolutely.
King here, longtime friend of the show, FFAtampa.com. It's got a great location, lots of awesome classes. Got an awesome staff out there, one of the highest, best paid staffs of all gun ranges in the state of Florida. He's won multiple awards. Check him out over at his location. And it's a great place. And you think about the show, you think about Thomas King is one of our most requested favorite expert contributors on the talk show. But our team, we got a great team around us, right? I mean, we got a great team. We got awesome producers, show partners. That's why we set this show up. Anything Second Amendment related, gun, self-defense related, Thomas King, we got you there. Financial services, we got you. Anything white-collar related, we got you covered. If you need a blue-collar company, somebody to, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, roofing, all those different areas, plumbing, handyman, we got you covered on that. So reach out to the hotline. We'll put you in touch with Thomas King or any of our other expert contributors, 813-917-1894. We've seen an uptick in calls the last couple of months. We greatly appreciate that, and we really appreciate the feedback we get as well. We got a few deals going on in the pipeline right now with some of our audience. So buying, selling, investing, refinancing, 813-917-1894. Greatly appreciate everybody supporting the Consumer Quarterback
staff
Show.
And team here. That's why you've been on the air for so long. And the people that you bring in are quality people, quality companies that don't have a bad rating.
That's right.
the people that are going to hook you up and take care of you. And if not, Brandon Rimes is going to come out there and show you what's up.
Yeah, that's right. We'll come right to the radio and grab your throat.
Did you guys know that we now sell sandstorm repellent guns?
I like that. There's non-lethal guns, sandstorm repellent guns.
No, there's a big sandstorm coming here, though.
Oh, okay, sandstorm. All right.
We do sell those other types, but
we're out of time. Thomas King, FFAtampa.com, Jason Mears, and thanks for listening to the show. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. We'll see you next time. Consumer Quarterback Show, ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rimes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rimes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.